Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Pauper video. Today's video comes from Luke H, as well as a handful of other people from Santa Cruz, California. They're kind of starting up a Pauper scene there, and they play on Saturdays at Mythic Games in Santa Cruz. If you find yourself in the area, feel free to check them out. All right, so we are going to be playing with Eggs Tron today. Now, eggs, in case you're not familiar with the general term, tends to refer to cycling artifacts, such as Chromatic Sphere and Chromatic Star, okay? One cost, right? Egg, okay? Sure, we'll roll with it. And we're looking to win with some interesting ways in this deck. So we are looking to get big mana by assembling Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, and Urza's Tower. Those three lands together give you a total of 7 mana. And you can filter through a lot of cantripping artifacts with that amount of mana. And the more Tron lands you have, the more stupid it gets. Well, how are we going to win the game? Well, we don't have very many win conditions, but they're all cute. So, we can play Foundry Inspector, make our artifact spells cost 1 less to cast, okay? So if this is free, and you tap 1 land, and you get 1 mana back, like, you break even on that, right? So you can play a ton of these sorts of cards and then play a storm spell. If you play a very large Weather the Storm, you might put your opponent out of the ability to reasonably win the game. Similarly, if you go and play a Scatter Shot and like really obliterate their board and get like a 5-for-1 or something, you can casually win the game at your own time. But the primary way that we're looking to win the game is with Jace's Erasure. Whenever you draw a card, you may have target player mill a card. So we stick this, and then we start cantripping through all of these artifacts while milling our opponent out slowly. But Phil, might you deck at the same time because you're also drawing cards? Don't worry, fam. I got you. That's what the Frantic Salvage is for. Put any number of target artifact cards from your graveyard on top of your library and draw a card. Okay? So we cycle through all these artifacts, we draw a bunch of cards, we all put them all back on top, cycle through them again, and then we can like play a giant Weather the Storm. The other cool win condition with this deck is just Golem Foundry. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get a charge counter, remove 3 charge counters, get a Golem. Or we could just gain a stupid amount of life and keep our opponents from closing out the game with Fangren Marauder. So we have a bunch of moving parts here, and I'm going to have to kind of learn some of the intricacies of the lines with this deck as I go along, as this is my first league with this version of the deck, but I'm pretty excited about it. Let's pop out the sideboard for a second. A lot of this is anti-aggro stuff, right? There's more copies of Weather the Storm and Fangren Marauder to kind of keep your life total respectable. There's more scatter shots here. Fairies is apparently very popular and very good right now, so having a bunch of things that just go like no to a bunch of blue 1/1s is probably a good idea. Otherwise, we do have one more alternative win condition in the form of makeshift munitions, which can kind of like serve as a way to just burn your opponent out if you can't quite get over the finish line. And then there's a little bit of disruption for decks like Boggles or just your more generic combo decks. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about this one. I'm probably going to mess some things up. A lot of times these artifact decks with a lot of moving parts like this one are going to be things that like you need to play multiple times in order to kind of understand some of the nuance of like, hey, what do I need to mystical teachings for? Like, at what point am I frantic salvaging? There's some of that sort of stuff that's maybe not going to be intuitive my first time playing the deck. Anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you like it or you're a regular for my content, please throw me a like. It supports the channel and it matters a lot. If you have something to say about the deck list or my plays, please throw those in the comment. And if you want to get one of your own decks on the channel or otherwise financially support me through Patreon or YouTube members, that information is available in the video description. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to fully admit that I don't know exactly like what is and isn't going to be. Ooh, interesting. Is and isn't going to be a keepable hand with this deck. Looks like we're probably playing against an affinity deck of some kind. I am just going to go ahead and keep the hand that has a Deadly Dispute that lets me kind of draw through some cards. when it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, I draw a card. So I can just kind of immediately junk that via Deadly Dispute and get a little deeper. I will just go ahead and do that. I don't think it matters too much whether or not I do it now or later. Doesn't like Legacy where we have a bunch of 0 drops to hit. Vampire's Kiss. Oh, we're not playing against Affinity. We're playing against the Black-Red Burn deck. That makes more sense. Sure. Oh, right. I can't actually Deadly Dispute because of how I did this. I don't have the black mana. Okay. I just time walked myself for no reason. That is what it is. It happened. Okay. Golden Egg gains life when? Sacrifice it for 3 life. I think I'm going to go ahead and just filter here. Get a card deeper. A Wellspring. Go ahead and play the Golden Egg here. All right. I will just play the Tower here. And play a Chromatic Star. And we'll see how much damage I end up taking here. Yeah, okay. So there is a Madness threat. That is very good value for my opponent. We'll see if they can do it again. What is this one? Target opponent loses 3, you gain 3 life. Sure. This is a pretty respectable amount of damage. All right, Mine, Power Plant, Tower. That's all of them. So now I can try to do some broken stuff. Let's filter for a black first off, so that I can potentially cast a Deadly Dispute. Hey, I can probably do that. I will play a Chromatic Star. I will filter for some red. 2 mana. Play a Wellspring. Angren Marauder. Let's try to Deadly Dispute. Paying 1. Sacrificing the Wellspring. Okay. This is one of the ones that makes 2. No, this makes 3. That gives me 5 total mana. 6 total mana? Forgot about my treasure token. Yeah, I'll probably just put that into play and then go ham next turn. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. I don't know what numbers I need to be afraid from, of like dying from with this deck. I feel pretty safe. Get rid of Swamp. I guess there are worlds where this thing can just eat it this turn. But not counting the Kitchen Imp damage, like I'm at 11 life still. So I feel pretty good that I'm not going to die in Pauper. Not 100% sure. Oh gosh. Yes. Yes, I will use that ability. I did not even realize that was going to trigger off my opponent's blood tokens. That's rough for them. Ooh. Not get a chance to bog the graveyard before that happened. Alright, opponent is done with my shit already. Yeah, but I probably would have gained about 30 life that turn and then scattershotted and killed the Gurmag Angler. Alright, what do I have for this matchup? These feel good. Let's get more of those. Spell Bombs feel good. And then I'm not exactly sure from there. Like, I have a bunch of cards that have text, and I'm, like, without games in, I'm not 100% sure what I do and do not want. Weather the Storm can't be too bad. Opponent is a glorified Burn deck. Like, it's different than Burn, but it's operating on similar axes. I'm going to win this game with a Fangren Marauder. I'm going to board out my Jace's Erasure, I think. I'm unsure if I should keep the 1 of Scattershot or if I can get rid of that. I also don't really think I need Mystical Teachings if I'm boarding in 2 more win conditions. Like, that might be blasphemy because it makes, like, these cards worse, but I just have a bunch of cards that I'm very happy to draw. Like, if I do that, do I also just get rid of this? I probably just get rid of that. And then I make 2 other cuts somewhere. The Foundry Inspectors are still probably reasonable keeps in the deck. Even, like, decreasing my ability to true combo off. Just because, like, they're good with the Storm cards. It, like, Spare Supplies from here. I just, like, legit don't know what my worst cards are without playing more. Like, true understanding of sideboarding comes with understanding the matchups, and when you're playing a deck for the first time, especially in a format you don't know super well, you're often not going to have everything all figured out immediately. This is going to be a keep. This is a medium power level hand. I am going to junk a Sphere here and just assume that I will find something over time that will give me green mana to cast this. Okay, just to tap land. Oh, that just went immediately to my turn. Sure. Power plant into spell bomb. I'm probably not gonna crack the spell bomb until turn 3. If opponent puts in some like a threatening number of cards, and I have to start thinking about Gurmag Angler, like I can crack it next turn, but I don't really want to crack it. But we'll see where this Faithless Looting goes. I draw a 1-drop, I'm more inclined to just immediately crack this. Vampire's Kiss and another Looting. That is a good amount of value for my spell bomb. I'm gonna try to greed it for one more turn. Yeah, I'm gonna try to greed it for one more turn here. And play out the spare supplies. Like, I do need to find Tron pieces or otherwise, like, find enough mana to get to this. Smash to smithereens. Absolutely. That's fine. I don't know what Tron land I want yet, so I don't really want to play this out yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and just, like, cycle this before Gurmag Angler becomes relevant. Alright. I will make my land drop. I want to play and crack these in the same turn when possible due to Smash. Let's play a Golden Egg here. I can make my land drop next turn. I don't want to make it that way. But I do have a way. Molten Rain, sure. But I do have a way that I can make a land drop. I guess now that's not true. Let's play a Wellspring and try to hit a land. Did not succeed. The Molten Rain type cards are going to be very good against me. But without a clock backing those up, I'm not super worried about it. At the end of the day, I do just have kind of 4 cantrips in hand. Kind of. What is that? Oh, just hardcast that? Absolutely. So I can make my land drop. Let's go through one of these here. Junk that for black. Alright. Mine, power plant. I will get a tower later. Absolutely. This will just be 2 mana for the golden egg. Ooh, yeah. That's not good yet. Not far away from being good. Ooh. Am I just cashing in this Weather the Storm for 6 life? Is that the stopgap I want since my opponent keeps Molten Raining me? I don't know. It's worth more later. This can also just give me life. I think I'm just gonna play out a star and leave up sacrificing Golden Egg for life. And if my opponent rattles off multiple spells, I'll play a Weather the Storm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, sure. Absolutely. Gurmag Angler here could be scary. Kitchen Imp and Fiery Temper. Yeah, so this Weather the Storm is going to be pretty good, folks. All right, take 3 from that. We'll play a Kitchen Imp. From counts 4. I go to 5. Go to end step. I get green mana for that. Ooh, nice. I will play Weather the Storm, which is worth a lot of life. All of a sudden, I feel pretty good. I think I kind of awkwardly just need to use Expedition Map to hit my next land drop. I could try to do it with Deadly Dispute, actually. That is a lot of looks. Okay, there is a mine. Cool. So I think at this point, we'll go ahead and play a Foundry Inspector. And I'm just going to use that to send out these 1-drop artifacts. And just, like, guarantee that this doesn't eat a removal spell and stop me from doing that next turn. Okay, cool. Flashback the Faithless Looting. So this only goes to Dome, right? This is just lose 3, gain 3. Yeah. That's totally fine. I will take my 2, go to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, mine, power plant. I need a tower. Let's activate that. Mine, power plant, tower, play tower. Let's filter for a green. Play a Fangren Marauder with a mana floating. Okay, opponent is done with me. Yeah, so I'd have played that with a mana floating, played Chromatic Star, filtered Chromatic Star, gain 5 life immediately, go up to 20. I would play another one next turn, followed by Weather the Storm. That was rough. Like, my opponent fought the good fight with multiple Molten Rains there. So this one's gonna be a mulligan. I have no initial mana sources. Yikes. How many lands do I have? I'm on the draw. Not as many as I would have thought, honestly. This is a 15 land deck since there's so many artifacts that filter. If I hit my second land drop, I am fine because I can play Ichor Wellspring and Deadly Dispute. I have two hits to do that, and missing once is basically game over. I would rather play a game of Magic most of the time than keep that hand. Jace's Erasure can go, and probably one of the spheres. This is probably the best of the hands that I've seen so far. The previous hand, like, if it works, it's totally fine and dandy. But this one has the potential to be much faster in case that matters. Alright. Opponent is picking white. So hand kind of plays itself here. And we'll see what sort of busted thing my opponent is doing. This boggles. Cycle Ash Barrens, sure. Or Plains. Yep. Signs are pointing in that direction. Okay. So I have some sideboard cards specifically for this. I think I'm gonna work towards Deadly Dispute being good next turn, which means not cycling through that immediately. I've got to get going fast or I'll die. The cards like Ethereal Armor are pretty disgusting in this format. It's just gonna search for another Ethereal Armor, I imagine. Okay, Ancestral Mask. Okay, yeah, same general thing, just scales a little harder. Oh, I'm gonna go for the Deadly. So, I guess I need to make black like this. 2 mana. Do the Deadly Dispute thing. Okay. There's a mine. I will make that land drop. I will play out an expedition map. And are you hexproof? You are hexproof. You are not. I guess I'll call it there. And I can tap my mine and my treasure token to assemble Tron next turn, have 7 mana, and try to do something disgusting. But I'm going to take most of my life total in damage this turn. Yeah, I'm taking 13. And a single life gain spell is not going to put me out of range of death. Let's wiggle and see if I can get mine, power plant, tower, play tower, 2 mana, wellspring, draw a card, 3 mana, chromatic star, turns them into black, deadly dispute that. Yeah, no outs anymore. 2, 3 total mana. Yeah, because now I can't draw into the life gain spell. Yeah, not happening. Opponent's deck just got under us. My mulligan didn't help. I have a Nature's Claim. I have 1 Serene Heart. I think I need these Fangren Marauders just as, like, my way to go and gain enough life that it actually matters. I'm not sure how much Weather the Storm actually matters. Like, when my opponent is attacking for 12, it does not matter that I gained 18 life, right? Like, it's an extra turn or two. An instant. This is an instant, so I will be keeping my Mystical Teachings in. Again, I think this is a matchup that I win with Fangren Marauder when I win. So let's go Jace's Erasure, this. I probably need to keep some other instants and sorceries in the deck to give me value for Mystical Teachings. I'm not sure how much more of this that I can actually play. And then I'll drop down a couple. Maybe I'll drop down one of each of these. Very, very unsure about whether or not I'm boarding correctly. Tower, Golem Foundry. I draw a mine or a tower. Or sorry, a mine or a power plant. The hand's reasonable, but is still lacking in business a little bit. I'm going to keep it. Golem Foundry can potentially buy a lot of time if it gets going. But that's, like, very much a potentially thing, right? Like, that is not always going to be the case. Get this going so I can have the theoretical world where I do assemble turn 3 Tron. Sure, Scout is fine. think I'm going to do nothing with my mana this turn. That's a little awkward, but it feels correct to me because I want to assemble Tron. And if I naturally draw a piece, I want to be able to get the third. I don't want to gamble for it. Um, let's see how bad this turn is. My opponent gets their white mana off of that. Rancor. Into Ethereal Armor? Oh, no. So that's 6 damage. I'm at 14. That also has first strike, so much for potentially trading. Yeah, this is exactly the scenario that I was talking about, right? So I will play Golem Foundry. Then next turn, I will assemble Tron and try to make a whole bunch of golems that buy me time. The like trample combined with first strike is just so rough, though. I'm at 1. It's turn 4. Settle down. Settle down, please. All right. Tower, power plant, get mine. Play mine. Chromatic Star. Always yes, always yield. And basically pray at this point. Always yield. Cavern. Chromatic Star. I guess I can turn this stuff into colored mana relatively easily. Star. Cycle, get that green back. Dead. Trample. Fuck. Like, I was doing something pretty cool. Like, this is my turn 4, and I make a 3/3. And, like, have 10 mana, and it doesn't matter, because I am dead. Ugh. I don't think we want to play this matchup. Alright, round 3. I only have a single land here. I just have to mulligan this one. Okay. Let's assume I can find another threat later and just keep everything that lets me draw in the early games. This doesn't enter tapped, does it? No, it does not. Alright, let's do it. Opponent says it's their first time playing this deck. This has me thinking, this more accurately has me thinking that this is probably going to be something like Fairies. Another Foundry Inspector. Okay. We're just gonna chill. You're not. Oh. Maybe this is actually some sort of bouncy deck, like one of the Ephemerate style decks, Ghostly Flicker decks. Let's play Swamp into Spare Supplies. We're looking to hit another land. Another Tron land, so I know what I need to get with Expedition Map. Okay, yep. We are looking at some sort of Ephemerate style deck. Okay. By a similar logic to what I did previously, I'm not going to play in Crack Map. We will play in my very tempting Cave. Send out this, and just while this is uncounterable, play it out. Multiple Foundry Inspectors means that my 2-drops become free, which is pretty cool. So, ooh. Like that. I think I like that enough that I'm just going to, this is real cute if this resolves. I play that for 2 mana. Oh. Actually, I guess that uses that as the bait spell so that I actually get to resolve this. It's just not quite as dumb as it could have been. Opponent said your deck is way cooler than mine. I've been enjoying it. So the artifact lands here probably mean the Cleansing Wildfire card that tries to blow up one of your lands, cantrips, and gives you a basic land. Like, that's their ramp plan. Okay, yeah, there it is. My Golem Foundry is going to give me a pretty sick amount of value over the course of this game. Mine's not really what I'm looking for. I can sacrifice this to draw a card, right? Can. Alright. Fair Supplies. Always yes, always yield. Alright, I'll draw my card. Conjurer's Bauble is free. Alright. And I sack to draw a card? I do. Yeah, you can go back into the deck. A Deadly Dispute. I can cast that on my opponent's turn. Don't have to cast that now. I mean, just mostly like looking to see if I hit another Tron land of some kind. Ooh. Like that. That potentially breaks up some loops. None of these get value when they die, right? It's sacrifice or effect, yes. Alright, I think it's important enough to hold up stuff. Well, not stuff. Very specifically hold up activating this, that I just don't do any more than that. And I try to sandbag a black source for the rest of the game. Crash in for 3. And then I just like make another golem to continue to beat my opponent down. It may be early enough in the game that I don't have to hold up the spell bomb, but it seems relatively free to. Alright, they're going after my golem foundry, which honestly is rude. It did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. But like, I still got a golem worth of value out of it. Just unfortunately, like, I didn't have Deadly Dispute available at the time, which would have been maximum value. Rude. Like, I still have a win condition in play at the end of the day, though. That'll do. That'll do. So I'll send in with that. Opponent goes to 11. I'll play a map. This is slightly awkward in terms of colors, isn't it? Alright. Crack that. Get a tower. Play a tower. No, okay, this isn't actually awkward. Alright, because I hold up Expedition Map and Spell Bomb. And I just get my other one at their end step while holding up Deadly Dispute as well. But at the end of the day, I also just do have the ability to sacrifice this land, create a 5/5. Okay, my opponent was thinking about something for a long time in their upkeep. Well, not like a long, long time, but long enough that it was noticeable. Alright, I will go ahead and just crack this at end of turn. Mine tower, meaning I want power plant. And I am just going to hold that up, basically forever. Power plant. Alright, cool. So, there's Urzatron. Let's start playing some stuff. I guess technically I should probably just attack first. Because I'm probably not activating this turn on this creature. Let's just crash in for 3. And I am successful. I want to start just sacking these to draw cards, actually, rather than the stuff that's in my hand, because of some of the cards in my deck. That can just chill there. Play a Wellspring. Let's play a Wellspring. Alright, fantastic. We've had first Wellspring, yes, but what about second Wellspring? What about third Wellspring? Alright. At this point, I'll probably just call it a turn. And I'll leave up a Deadly Dispute for my opponent's end step. Okay, there's a land. Soul of Migration. A vote. Manage the battlefield, make some birds. Sure. And I assume my opponent is going to do some ephemerate shenanigans. I am correct. So that means they are going to get 4 total birds and have a 2/4 blocker. That's pretty good. But hopefully I do something that is just much bigger than that. Well, it's Deadly Dispute, sacrificing a Wellspring. Bobble's kind of whatever. All those cards are kind of whatever, honestly. Alright, I need to go through a lot of my deck here. I can make this into a 5/5. The thing. Let's start drawing some cards and see where things go. This is a time where a lot of the storm type cards might end up being very good. Do this. I'll filter for a green. I already have access to black. More spare supplies. Let's just play another tower. Go 3 mana. Spare supplies. Alright. Hello? In search of 1 win condition, please. 1 wafer thin win condition. Another green, I guess. Nope. Someday. Someday I will find a way to win. And then my opponent will counter it. Alright. Yeah? You know what? Let's be different. Let's make a black. Yeah, that'll change my luck. Scatter shot. Holy shit. I have a treasure token. I can work towards that being good. So Storm is 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little more than 8 would be fine. So let's use a bobble here and just draw a card. I'll put the Golem Foundry back in my deck. Expedition map. Play a bobble. There we go. The Foundry Inspector back into my deck. So this is my mana for the Scatter Shot. That 3. Let's play a map. All right. 1, 2. 1 damage to Soul of Migration. A 1, 2. And a red. Opponent says that seems like an excessive amount of damage. All right. 1 to the bird. 1 to this bird. 1 to this bird. 1 to this bird. 2 damage. 3 damage. 4 damage. 5 damage. This. Oh. So if this is targeting that, I click same targets for the rest. Okay. Why is this pointing at this bird? I'm here. Why? Okay, I think this is a visual thing, that this just isn't doing it the way that I like. Yeah, it seems like that is the case. Magic Online not exactly renowned for its UI, right? Alright, so the stack's emptying. That thing's gone. I don't really have anything else to do with 1 mana. I'll just be holding up my Spell Bomb and crashing in for 3. Good stuff. Nice Ephemerate. I have stopped that value chain. Alright, that is an Archaeomancer. Targeting an Abrade. I will attempt this. Now my opponent can stop this with an Ephemerate. We'll see if they have it. No. This is straight up a blocker. Jace's Erasure. This is a little awkward milling my opponent, huh? That's a little awkward milling my opponent. Let's go 3 for Foundry Inspector. Alright, there is a counter spell. So let's go 2 mana for Wellspring. Draw my card. Fangren Marauder. I can turn you into green mana, right? Yeah, I can turn you into green mana. Fine. Play Fangren Marauder. And then we'll cycle some stuff, gain a bunch of life. Pay 2. Sack that. Always yes. Always yield. Always yield to that. How much is this to do this thing? 4. So I guess I always want a tower here, right? That just gives me the most mana for this turn. Tower. Play tower. There's 3 mana. Go ahead and sacrifice that. Go up to 35. Bojugabog is cool for the future. And then crash in for 3. And I have a bog to help break up a loop of some kind that my opponent tries to establish. Oh wow, no blink shenanigans or anything. Yeah, I have 2 lethal sized threats for next turn. I maybe should have just like made this into a lethal sized threat to force the block anyway. That might have been a misplay on my end. Okay, there we go. All right. So I like the spell bombs here. I like the additional threat density. The scatter shot was cool at trying to break up my opponent's loop and like serving as a board wipe. So I guess my big question that I don't know from playing out the matchup is like, can I Jace's Erasure mill my opponent out? Or is that going to backfire on me too much of the time because I feed Archaeomancers and such? How many spell bombs do I have in the main deck? Is it just 1? Or is it 2? 1. So I will have 3 spell bombs and a Bojuka Bog to clean my opponent's graveyard. Is that enough to make Jace's Erasure worth it? Like, I didn't really want to play it that game because I was pretty far ahead. I don't know. You have played this matchup before. In the comments, leave me a timestamp for when I'm talking about this and let me know your thoughts. I also don't hate makeshift munitions to just throw artifacts at my opponent's face to kill them. I'm actually going to get that in here. It combos well with the Fangren Marauders. I'm going to board that out. Frantic Salvage is still cute. Cute or is it good? Cute or is it good? Maybe it's cute. Like, without the Jace's Erasure specifically. And now I have 20 seconds to figure out the last couple of things. Golden Eggs seem medium. I'll be a little light on green without them, but I expect this matchup to go long. I also need to F6 where I can. And I'm going to get rid of this upkeep stop right now, because I don't really expect to do anything on my opponent's upkeep. One land, no. One land on the draw with 3 things to hit other land drops. Okay. Keep, bin the threat. Not super happy about this hand, but don't want to go to 5 versus the control deck, I don't think. We'll see what I can do. All I have to do is hit one of those remaining 15. That one's awkward. One of those remaining 15 land drops and things end up working out okay here. I have the smoothest time if I play the Bojuka Bog on turn 1, but I don't know that I'm willing to do that. I'm going to try to hit a different land drop instead, just naturally. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I would like to try there. Okay, it doesn't happen. So instead, let's play a Conjurer's Bauble. Let's sacrifice. Okay, I hit an Urza's Tower. Good. I can continue to sandbag this Bojuka Bog for a little while. I think I will just immediately make that swap so I can F6. Like, there's reasons not to immediately do that, like Fangren Marauder, for example, but I'm gonna value my clock since I'm quite a bit behind, and I do expect that this might end up going to 3 games. Hoping to hit another land drop so I don't have to play this Bojuka Bog. Okay, fantastic. So I will Wellspring. That's not bad. I am actually, due to how next turn is going to work out, I think I need to do this now. Not happy about playing that land. I've been trying to save it. But, like, drawing Foundry Inspector means that next turn I can do 5 mana worth of stuff if I play Foundry Inspector into something like Spare Supplies. So I think I'm just supposed to, like, get that awkwardness of the Bojuka Bog out of the way. Like, I really want that to break up loops in this matchup that are graveyard-based. But, Fangren Marauder. Fine. So, attempt this. It's going to resolve. I will get a Spare Supplies into play for 1 mana, and then this thing might die. Correct. Wait. Oh, no. It's 2 toughness. For a split second, I thought I was a 3-3. I was not a 3-3. An opponent needed to do it right there. I would have gotten an extra mana worth of value. So good on them. What are we working with? Another Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. I'll take some more chip damage. Getting closer to Fangren Marauder. 2, 3, 4 mana. I don't really want to get this Deadly Dispute countered. Actually, Deadly Dispute is my bait spell. I lied. Deadly Dispute is my bait spell for sure. This is like such a good counterspell target that if my opponent has a counterspell, they fire it off on that. Okay, cool. That means I can now go 1 mana for Expedition Map. Power Plant Tower. So I need Mine. I will go and search that up. Mine. Play Mine. This is one of the 2 mana ones. I think I'm going to have... I guess because of Golem Foundry, I just sacrificed this one here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, actually, because of the number of cards that was in my hand, that was awkward to do. I'll discard a Mystical Teachings. That was all a part of the plan. As I'm sure you all knew. It was definitely not an error. Absolutely not pilot error. I'll go to 17. Opponent's got a full grip. I get to decide like whether like a Fangren Marauder or the Golem Foundry is going to be my kind of big bait spell for the time being. I can do a decent scatter shot at some point to try to clean out those creatures. How much mana do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus more if I can get a land drop. I have Fangren Marauder plus Golem Foundry. Or I can just try to do one or the other. Spell Bomb, sure. Alright. Try this. Absolutely counterspellable. Okay, and that indeed did happen. Arm is 2. Just slightly awkward. Alright, let's do a Chromatic Star. I have 5 mana showing, so if I hit a land, I can hit a Fangren Marauder, and if I don't hit a land, I don't. I actually think I'm gonna make red here, and potentially scattershot away some of my opponent's stuff. Spell bomb, spell bomb, scattershot. First one goes on the one on the left. Same target, yeah. And I just click on that for the rest. Okay, cool. So those are all gonna clear out, and I junk all my opponent's creatures, leaving me with a couple spell bombs in play, and mystical teachings in my graveyard to work with. Opponent still has 6 cards. A mine. Sure. So let's go spare supplies, try to find some green mana. Okay, there's some green mana. Yeah. Turn that into green. Map is totally fine and dandy. We'll just deal with that later, though. There's 6 mana for a for a 5/5 beefy boy. Counter spell. That's fine. We'll call it a turn there. How much is this on flashback? 7? 6. Or cleansing wildfire? No, it's 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana. Muldrifter. Nope. Okay. No Muldrifter. I think I'm gonna use this opportunity to cast a Deadly Dispute. I don't have my most optimal. No, I'm okay with it. No, I'm not. I don't need to give up that value here. We'll just let that happen. Makeshift munitions. Cool. So let's cast an expedition map, and then let's use this to just kind of always end up with the right colors. I'll crack that for the cave. Play cave. Make a green. Actually undo that. There's 6 for a Fangren Marauder. Okay, they do have another counter spell. So I'll just go ahead and chill. It is land cycling. Got my clock to worry about. Because like I'm definitely behind in that regard. My deck physically has a decent amount of clicking, and I'm just spending a lot of time thinking about my lines and like not F6ing through my opponent's turn because I have spell bombs and such. All right, I'll go to 15. Sure. I think I'll go ahead and just take my value off of this. Not really what I'm looking for. That's basically free. Like I just do that, crack that, use it to search up a tower, play tower, play sphere. Go in for, actually no, I'll go in for the red. Boundary Inspector. That might be good enough to eat a counter. Let's do that. Play Makeshift Munitions, which is just a horrifying card for my opponent. Lose focus. So what this is, unless I pay 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 2, 4, 6. Okay. Mystical Teachings is 6. So I will do that on my opponent's turn. That is an instant. I think I need to win this game. I don't know that I have time for another. Exile 2 target artifacts. Okay. So let's Deadly Dispute. Sacrificing this one. And let's make a black. Sacrifice that. Targeting you. Pay that. Alright. Graveyard is junked. Full price Muldrifter. Good. Much for my plan of Mystical Teachings. Alright. I am down to 12. Let's find something fun to do. Wellspring. Air supplies. That's just more land. Chromatic Star. Make like a green here. Just more land. Let's Mystical Teachings for something. I get a little sloppy here just due to time. I'm just going to grab a Deadly Dispute and try to make something happen right now. Let's Deadly Dispute. Junking a Wellspring. And see what we get. Okay, I cannot find another Fangren Marauder to save my life here. Wellspring. Nope. Okay. So map. Guess resolve this while I can. And I'll hold off there. Ephemerate on the Muldrifter. Am I unlikely enough to win this game that I should just concede this one at this point and try to save myself 4 minutes for the next game? I don't know, like, if I resolve a Fangren Marauder, I can gain a pretty disgusting amount of life. Okay. I'm gonna concede this game and try to win another one in just a couple of minutes. My opponent has 7 cards in hand, 3 things on board. Like, I can try... Man, we had to get pretty deep before we found him. Alright, I don't really have any more threats that I can board in other than the Jace's Erasure. I don't know that I can mill my opponent out in 3 minutes. I think I need to hit my opponent with a 5/5 or a string of golems. Alright. Yes. Keep. I have a win condition in hand, and accordingly, I am keeping this hand. This is up to 1. I can't just immediately sacrifice this. Turn it into another card. Land, Wellspring, and your go. I need more land drops than what I got right now. What I have is not going to do it for me. Alright, draw a card. Missed on land drop. Probably dead. And that is what it is. Alright, Wellspring. Okay. Now we're seeing the downside of playing a 16 land deck. It's fine. But I am trying to turbo to 6 mana here. And I just kind of got caught up in the clunk. That is a shame. Alright. Fear. We're just going to immediately cycle. Yikes. Star in play. Actually, the Bobble is technically better. Because I can play and crack the Bobble immediately. But we're potentially at the point where my opponent's going to discard. I'm pretty far behind. Like, it's turn 5, I have 2 lands in play. Life's bad. I would not have hit a land last turn. Rough. Alright. Back. Jeez. What have I done? Another Bobble in the deck. Oh my god. Like, I'm 18 cards deep and I have seen 2 lands. Scattershack can go away. Like, opponent's only doing 1 damage to me at a time right now, but I don't really think that matters. Ephemerating. This just divination. I don't think you need to ephemerate with that many cards in hand. It might be one of those times, like, if you can, you do. Like, all they need to do is find a couple copies of counter spells, and I just can't possibly win. I think I will probably pack it in if I miss my next land drop. Like, with opponent having 8 cards and me being this low on time. Okay. Wow. We'll try again. Please? Okay. I can now pretend to do some stuff. And I guess I can still technically, like, naturally hit Tron and have a chance. But if my opponent, like, plays an Archaeomancer, getting that Ephemerate back, like, they're in such good shape. I guess I could play towards timing out my opponent, but, like, they are the aggressor currently. Timing out the aggressor doesn't tend to work. Yeah, you never know. Like, I am using clock significantly slower than my opponent is, but that's because I'm not playing Magic. Yeah. That's Archaeomancer for Ephemerate. Or for Counterspell. Sure. Life's bad. Not Natural Tron. Alright. Back for red. Play Munitions. Let it get countered. That's fine. Play Spell Bomb. And now I can clear the graveyard so my opponent can't get back that Ephemerate or can't just continuously get back their stuff. Wildfire is fine. I hate that I can't F6 while I have this Spell Bomb. That might make me make some sloppy plays just for the sake of being able to F6 my opponent's turns, because these individual seconds, like, absolutely matter right now. Alright, there's a Foundry Inspector. Just going to try to use this to get another land drop, essentially. That's fine. Bobble is going to put this Munitions back into my deck. I am not running hot on the draw lands lottery here. I am at 23 cards seen, and I've seen 3 lands. That's tough. Late to dinner. No. Alright. I can't pay for that. Alright, so I've blanked that, but I'm taking a very significant amount of damage here. Alright. Holy shit. That's a Tron. Alright, we're still at least a little bit in this then. Like, I need some colors here. But like I am on the right track to just like not be fucking dead. Okay. Let's continue cycling. Alright, there's colors for next turn. There's a spell bomb. Okay. I have been no-surd. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Fangren Marauder and a Mystical Teachings as of next turn. Or Fangren Marauder plus it. Or Chaomancer returning counterspell. Oh man, that spell bomb would have been so good. So I think my Fangren Marauder now gets countered and I lose. I can't get 2 colored mana here as of right now. Maybe we can do something with this. So you are the bait spell. Sacrificing this. If my opponent bites. They do not. Very bad for me. Actually, I should do this. No, I can't do this differently now. Alright. So there's that. This is unfortunately just going to get countered. Back that. Play map. Oh, but then opponent just has lethal in play. Alright, I wiggled. I wiggled, I tried. GG's. We got a little unlucky there. Like, I was absolutely behind this game, but I didn't need much to play a real game of Magic. Like, if I had 2 more turns here, like, we would be playing a real game. Hey folks, Phil here. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, please consider subscribing the channel or liking the video if you haven't done that already. If you want to financially support my channel, there's lots of ways to do that, ranging from Patreon to doing a donation deck list, and all that information is available in the video description. Alright, back to the games. Alright, this hand is much better than the one I had last time around. I have 2 pieces of the Tron already. I have a Golem Foundry that can serve as a win condition. I will just need 1 other land at some point. Okay, Weather the Storm, not really what I'm looking for, but not that bad of a card either. We'll play a Wellspring here, with the plan being to Deadly Dispute this next turn off of Chromatic Star. Or Filtering. Alright, what are we doing? Maybe something similar to last round. No cards with Augur of Bolas. Can't say I feel bad. Alright. Let's use this to immediately make black mana. Get my card. Actually, do I want a Deadly Dispute here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I haven't played my land drop yet, so that's fine. Sacrifice my Wellspring. Alright, 9 cards in hand, so I will go... Oh, opponent's a fan of the channel. Okay, I think I want to use this treasure. I just want to go, like, land, and then store a card of some kind in play. And next turn, I can try to resolve this Golem Foundry and do gross things with it. I guess maybe there's a world where I don't play the Golem Foundry into multiple open blue mana. And we'll kind of see. That is a shuffle. The opponent might be fishing for some lands here. Bottom. Oh, it looks like opponent is going to poke for 1, and then this Golem Foundry is going to resolve. Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought I top decked the other piece of the Urzatron there. Let's just go ahead and play this. Let's do the Golem Foundry thing. And just get started. Yes to this. Always yield to this. This point, let's sacrifice this. Throw a Wellspring back into my deck. Foundry Inspector. I don't think I need to just immediately use the treasure token. Like, that will be around for me later. Yeah. So this is opponent getting presumably their second color, which I was guessing would be white, but it could have been red as well. Will this Augur of Bolas be kinder? Yes, this one got them a preordain. Alright. I'm at 18. And I'm going to just cycle this for green immediately. Frantic Salvage. Cool. Alright. There's a Foundry Inspector. Spellbomb becomes free. I don't think I need to weather the storm here. I think I'm just going to play out these things, or at least as many of them as I can. I mean, I guess I can weather the storm. It is a lot of life. Not quite in frantic salvage territory, but I will be as soon as I hit another thing. Let's cycle this for the green. Yet another power plant. I'm gonna take this. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and walk away with all this life and call it good. And we'll see what my opponent can do. Like, at the end of the day, I just have 6 power in play and a whole bunch of mana. My opponent missed some land drops and is like churning through their deck, trying to set up. Which is not really want. Tireless Tribe. Okay. I do not know why that is in the deck. Like, is that a legit card? Like, okay, cool. So that's free. Go 1, 2. Rack that. That gets me my mine. Play mine. Where I just filter. This is probably where I just filter, right? So sack this. Get white. Play Frantic Salvage. I guess I choose all of these. I don't really need the expedition map. Pay for it. Put all of these on top. Alright. So now I am just doing a really cool Golem Foundry thing. Just sack this for black, question mark. I'm going to cycle through these. Accruing golems. Convert more colorless into black. Yeah. Alright, this is neat. I guess I'll make a green here. For giggles. Yeah. I guess I'll throw my Frantic Salvage back into my deck. Golden Egg. This is very funny. Oh, okay. Boundary Inspector. So now my 2 drops are also free. Get another card draw here. Alright, I'm going to cash in this Spellbomb. Just try and keep going. Get a map. Guess that counts. Neither one of these draw a card, right? Yeah, neither one of those draw a card. Play a map. I will crack that with my remaining floating mana. I'll guess I'll get another tower. I have 11 counters on a Golem Foundry. And I'll send in with these creatures. That was a turn. That was a turn. Yeah, I'll absolutely be fine with that trade. Like, I just have so many golems queued up that I don't care about my individual Foundry Inspectors. Wedding Invitation is fine. I am not really sure what my opponent is doing. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Like, this is setting off alarm bells that this is going to do something combo-y, and, like, this is opponent trying to get in. But I don't know what this is doing or how it is doing and whatnot. I guess this can't be blocked, so I don't need to think about it. This is just like a ninja enabler. Okay. You have a big butt. White out. Sacrifice a snowland. Return it from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Uh-huh. So you discard it. You sacrifice it. Where are we going? There's some sort of... What is this? Where is this card? Okay. Yes. 29. How do I die? Alright, white out again. Yes. That 37. Okay. Inside out. Switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Draw a card. That is a 41-1 that couldn't be blocked. I am going to make my golems out of protest. This is sad. I did a very broken thing, and then I did not know that I had to play around dying from 33 life. Okay. Wow. Even if I would have gained 6 more, I still would have died. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess I also could have held Spellbomb in play. Am I actually gonna catch that? No, right? It makes it slightly more awkward, but I guess it depends on how many lands my opponent has. Okay. Huh. Feeling my opponent seems to have a downside here because of that whiteout card. I think I like being disruptive. I think I like duress. Serrated arrows is actually good against their win condition, huh? That's fine. These are fine. Weather and Scattershot are fine. I don't know how many cards I get to board. Munitions actively seems good. Am I going down on, like, some amount of this pile of stuff? Vanguard Marauders, just as finishers, are also pretty respectable, right? Like, if I go down on other win conditions. I don't know how consistent my opponent's deck is. There's a lot of moving parts that have to go right. Board out some amount of this stuff. I'm not sure on the Scattershot. Like, the Scattershot is just another thing that stops my opponent from comboing off, though. But, like, how good is it versus just, like, Seagate Oracles? Not great. Better than Weather the Storm. I also just have 35 seconds here. Board out some number of artifacts. Maybe I need to keep in a couple of those for Deadly Dispute. I don't know. Alright, I have 2 pieces of Tron already. This is a keep. This Spellbomb will probably just get cycled whenever I can cycle it. Like, I'm not really expecting it to do a ton in this matchup. Like, it has text, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Okay, there's a win condition. So now I need to find both green mana and a third Tron piece. Well, the third Tron piece. That is a Tron piece, not the one I am looking for. Yeah, sure. I think my opponent has, like, Ponder, Brainstorm, Preordain as 4 ofs plus Seagate Oracles. That is a lot of filtering, and there's presumably some other stuff that I haven't seen yet either. Duress. Am I ready for Duress? I don't think I'm ready for Duress yet. Let's play Spare Supplies first, and I can kind of make my decision from there. Deadly Dispute. I don't think I'm ready for Duress yet. I think I'm going to just go for an end of turn, just cycle the Spellbomb. That's fine. Like, I would rather use this Duress after my opponent plays out a creature, or, like, before I cast a very critical spell. Done? I have just, like, never seen my opponent's deck before. Like, not even in a deck list dump or something. So, like, I just don't know how much I need to be playing around how disruptible they are. But right now, I just want to get deeper into my deck and try to do my own broken thing. Let's play out some cards. Munitions is cool. You don't make mana. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for an end of turn Deadly Dispute, sacrificing my Wellspring. Just, like, desperately try to find a mine or a map and just, like, be able to dump my hand. Ooh, Impulse too. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Spin away. It seems like my opponent might not actually have that many ways to physically interact with me. It seems like their deck is more about I am trying to do my own thing. Okay, there is a map that will find me a mine if I don't just naturally spike one. Fantastic. I'm going to start with the Duress this turn. I just want to know what's in there. I'm going to take that inside out, I think. Alright, cool. So now, 3 mana, Golem Foundry. 1 mana, Chromatic Star. Always yes. Always yield. 6 total mana. Sacrifice that for green. Draw a card with it. Play a Fangren Marauder. Really need to use that treasure. Although, I can. I can duress my opponent. Always yes, always yield. And I can take this Echoing Truth so they can't actually take my Fangren Marauder out of play. And if I get a turn of active Fangren Marauder with the amount of mana that I have available to me, I will probably gain enough life that even if they combo off, they won't kill me. Like, I very easily could end up next turn at above 40 life. I also think it's reasonable to take the Brainstorm there and say, like, yeah, you can bounce my creatures for a turn. Yeah, there's a land drop after the Brainstorm, so they're drawing whatever they're drawing. Okay, fantastic. All right, so 3 mana, Expedition Map. Immediately crack that. Gain my life. Get a new Urza's Tower. Play it. Play a Sphere. Sack it for red. Play a Munitions. Are we done? Okay, opponent is immediately going to go for making this one larger. That's fine. Oh? Am I gonna, like, lose this game because, like, somehow randomly because I did not play Nihil Spellbomb first before doing this? Okay, they're going. Oh, circular logic. Okay. Ace 3 for each card in your graveyard. 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've made my land drop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait. I miscounted. I have 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I see. It is showing 7 floating because I've already paid 1. Alright. I'll pay for that. I leave the graveyard as is. My attack for 5 doesn't do anything. And I don't know how my opponent wins from 2 cards when I'm at 35 life. They can. Good shit. You earned it. This is a super cool piece of tech. Alright. I will make a thing with Golem Foundry. And honestly, I'll block with it. I'm not going to expose this Fangren Marauder to any sort of shenanigans. But don't mind risking the Golem token. Alright. 2 mana. Wellspring. Draw. I need color fixing here. Let's find just anything that makes me a green mana here. That's fine. That probably finds me something. Sack a Wellspring. Yeah. Always yield to that. Bobble. Okay. Oh, the treasure. The treasure does it. Duh. 6 mana. New Fangren Marauder. Okay. Alright. We don't have to get to stupid levels of life. Okay. So I have seen Dispel from my opponent. I have seen Circular Logic. Otherwise, other than like the Echoing Truth, it seems like mono cantrips and combo pieces. I wonder if I can just play like Maximum Disruption and also get these scatter shots in here and just say like, hey, I'm going to make it as difficult as possible for you to combo off. Because like the scatter shot is just a 3 mana removal spell for that thing, or it forces them to discard a card. It's like medium though, because if they have the whiteout thing, they can just like discard that, it saves it, even through Tron copies. I like Duress a lot. I think I'm gonna go down some Conjurer's Baubles for some golden eggs for green fixing, because it's just like so important for me to play this card as soon as I assemble Tron. And then I'm just like not sure about the scatter shots. I could play 1 and put the Mystical Teachings back in. I'm so unsure about the scatter shots. The spell bombs are, well, actually the spell bombs have text versus the counter spells too. Alright. Once I get to turn 3, this will cycle very quickly. But this hand is not innately fantastic. I think I am going to keep it just because I've had some trouble with just getting enough raw lands to kind of do my thing. Alright. Is this a turn 1 Bojuka Bog, or is this a turn 1 Chromatic Sphere? I need to play this on turn 3 no matter what, and then I get to play these Chromatic Spheres for free. Given that, I'm just going to play this awkward Bog on turn 1. Alright. And we'll let my opponent spin their wheels, do their thing. I'll play a Spare Supplies, and then try to really do some work with Foundry Inspector and work towards finding some disruption for my opponent's combo or something threatening that they have to deal with. I mean, that's Center is a land. What I want. Okay, and there's a map. That's going to be all of my Tron pieces. The next turn, I will play Foundry Inspector, vomit 3 cards into play, and go from there. Opponent could play their creature this turn, though. Okay, they did. Oh my god. Oh my god. What a draw. Alright. Power Plant. Foundry Inspector. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna be cooking some eggs next turn. Alright. They are starting to do their thing. Do you have the creature this turn? Oh, they don't. All right, here we go. Yeah. Let's immediately start doing some color filtering. Let's continue that process. Black here. Play this. Again, these are effectively free. Kind of have all my colors chilling. All right. I think I'm going to draw a card with this. Just use actual raw colorless mana with this. Okay. I'll play a star. I'm going to go ahead and deadly dispute that. Try to keep my gas going. This is a draw 3. Or more deadly disputes. All right. We're going. Not sure how I want to play this turn. I think I'm just going to sacrifice my treasure token rather than this. Actually, I could sacrifice this first before I make that decision. Jesus, okay. Deadly Dispute will indeed sacrifice the treasure token. Okay. There's a piece of gas for next turn. Leave that in play. Do I leave this in play so I can crack it next turn for 5 life? Yes. All right, let's stop there. Bash in for 3. I have some minimal play. I have some minimal interaction in play versus graveyard-based shenanigans as of right now. Okay, sure. All right. There is the Tireless Tribe. All right, there's another tower. All right. Cool. Yeah. I need green for Fangren Marauder. So there it is. Okay, it is in play. Bash in for 3. Yeah, I think I'll bash in for 3. Yeah. Opponent goes to 14. I think I'm actually going to do this. Like, this life is very relevant. The disruption that a spell bomb provides is medium. I would like to see if I can continue to go off here. Nice. Actually, let's tap the other one. Let's go Wellspring. Draw a card. Ah, shit. Really wish I had another black mana available. This brings me to 30, though. I'll have plenty of black mana next turn. Guess I just grab another tower? I don't know. I can just grab the Cave of Temptation. Kind of ended up with a lot of lands in hand. I'll discard a mine. I'll discard a swamp. All right. See if opponent can kill me from 30. It's possible. All right. Do you have it? There's 4 mana. That okay. Yeah, so like the thing about this is like if I try to nuke this with a spell bomb, my opponent just sacrifices another land, and then like my spell bomb doesn't actually do the thing. So we'll kind of see how this ends up. Because I'm either dead or I'm not. Like with one more turn, I think I will have gained enough life where this isn't a real issue anymore. All right. Opponent's at 29. Just discarded an Inside Out. Discarded a blue Elemental Blast. That's 37. So is their last card another Inside Out? Shit, it is. Ugh. All right. All right. So we are 1-3 right now. Opponent's deck is cool. That's all I gotta say. All right, round 5 here. I've got 2 lands to start with. Neither of them are Tron lands. I have Deadly Dispute, Ichor Wellspring. I have something to get a Tron piece and a turn 1 play. Keep? Question mark? I think I am just going to just kind of play this one out and immediately cycle it. Try to hit some more relevant land drops. Yeah, sure. All right, we are playing against fairies. Cycle that immediately. And my opponent can scry away. Hand's not super broken. My red storm card thing that kills creatures will be very good in this matchup. Hey, I like that. All right. I maybe should take this opportunity to resolve map while I can, actually, while like I know it can't be countered, because that just guarantees that I have Tron. I think that was a misplay for me, just looking through that too quickly and like staying on track with my original plan. Okay, it doesn't matter if my opponent just like taps out here. I end up in the same spot afterwards. But it was, oh, yeah. All right. Always do this. Always do this. Then it's like, is it Deadly Dispute? Probably just Deadly Dispute. That just gives me a treasure token for next turn as well. Ooh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. So opponent can... I don't think you're supposed to play that Terramorphic Expanse before you draw your card with Ninja of the Deep Hours. Like, that's limiting. Right? Like, if you draw an untapped mana and you have 3 mana worth of stuff to do, you can't do it anymore. Opponent junks an Echoing Decay. Opponent cannot actual factual counterspell this turn. Alright. Mine, Power Plant. I want a tower. Tower. Play it. 6 total mana. I'm just gonna jam this. Like, opponent doesn't have actual factual counterspell available right now. And even if they do, I still have so much gas. Nice, it resolved. Like, it can die. Like, there's cast outs and stuff. Or, sorry, cast downs and such that can kill it, but... Like, I'm okay with that. Now I just end up in the situation where I play a couple of spells, scattershot my opponent's board, and win. Like, I'm very much going to go over what my opponent is capable of doing. Like, their drawing cards is nice, but it's not all this. I do need to get the red mana. I guess I can do it off of caves. Alright, there's the spare supplies. A card off of that. Alright. There's a chromatic star. Get some red for that immediately. More mana. Spare supplies. Forms 3. Jace's Erasure. That's cool with the Frantic Salvage in hand, but I think this turn is just Scattershot. Not the world's best Scattershot or anything, but I think that's just what's happening. Yeah. It's unfortunately a single target Scattershot, but I'm good with just taking that thing out of play. Goodbye. Like, if you view that as, like, 6 storm value, like, that's not it. But if you just view that as, like, that's a 1-for-1 removal spell, when I have 6 cards in hand and a bunch of inevitability, it sounds fine that way. And I can set up a pretty sick, like, Frantic Salvage, Jace's Erasure, or Mystical Teachings situation as well. Maybe both. I think I'm going to be playing Cave of Temptation out. I can do a lot of math here. I can do a whole lot of math here. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to cast my Jace's Erasure and see if it works. It does. All right. Let's start drawing some cards. Choose target player. Save targets. Always yield. Oh, really? I can't always yes to that? All right. Let's do that again. Yes. Conjurer's Bauble. I put a Fangren Marauder back in my deck. Yes. Maymill. There's 2 mana. I've played a land drop. Play an Expedition map. Sure. That's just my opponent taking some amount of value there. So I'm just going to junk this immediately. We'll draw my card. We'll mill a card. I will nuke your graveyard. And then I'd like a Foundry Inspector in play before I play this Frantic Salvage, but, like, if I don't have it, I don't have it. I can also just, like, Frantic Salvage after playing a Mystical Teachings and end up gaining a whole bunch of life with Weather the Storm in a way that's pretty gross. Sure, I take 3 this turn. Oh, Golem Foundry. Yeah, you can mill a card. Golem Foundry is super cool. All right. 3 mana. Golem Foundry. Is this the Frantic Search moment? Probably the Frantic Search moment. Bauble, Star, Bauble, Bell Bomb. Then I will go ahead and grab the spare supplies. Is that what this is? Other spare supplies? Yeah. Call that okay. All right, there's the Frantic Salvage. So we'll put the ones that cost 2 further down. Yes. All right. So Tower, Bauble. Always yes. Always yield. Bauble, Scattershot can go back into the deck. Star. Get some blue mana going. Yeah, you can mill a card. Bauble. Don't think I want to send any of that stuff back into my deck. Actually, maybe I send the Frantic Salvage back into my deck because I might Mystical Teachings for it again. Right, star. Back this for some green. Yeah, you can mill a card. So then I'll Spell Bomb. Spell Bomb. Yes, I will pay for that. Yeah, you can mill a card. All right. I was hoping to get to 2 of these. There was so much math I could have done that turn, by the way. I just started clicking on cards. I just want that to be clear. They're only doing the 2 in the air. That's fine. Go ahead and do this. Yeah, you can mill a card. All right. Wellspring. I believe my next card is an unknown card now. What I'm looking for currently is another colored mana source. Boundary Inspector is not another colored mana source, but it's pretty legit. All right. This is fine to just do, I think. Cast down. I'm good with that. I'll draw my card. You can mill a card. This is fine. Go for blue mana here. You know what? You know what I'm going to say? You can mill a card. There we go. Let's go Mystical Teachings. If my opponent responds to that. Is this just a Weather the Storm situation? It also can just be a Scattershot situation. Storm is 6. I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available. I just Scattershot next turn. Let's Weather the Storm. Alright. So, yeah. Spare supplies. Draw my card. You know what? You can mill a card. Now, convert that into green. And just play a very large Weather the Storm. Yeah. So when all that's said and done, I end up at 33. I'm fine attacking with my Golem. I have a few more just kind of chilling. My opponent goes to 17. And, like, I have 2 cards sitting on board and 1 card sitting in the graveyard in the form of Mystical Teachings. Like, opponent has a Gurmag Angler. Again, I'm good with that. Opponent can poke me for 2 in the air. That's fine. And then they concede the game. All right, fantastic. I get the impression that if you want to sit down and crunch numbers for exactly how many cards you can greed to draw, you can do so. This is my 5th round of Magic that I've played today. I'm recording. I'm going to say that I'm not playing optimally by intentional decision because I've only got so much brain power left. Alright, Scattershots seem great. Munitions are good. Fangren Marauder is good. Serrated Arrows and Weather the Storms are also playable. Spellbomb even is okay. I don't know if I'm going to bring in more Spellbombs. Like, they require colored mana to really do their thing. I think my plan here is just kill my opponent's creatures and then resolve Fangren Marauder. So, like, the whole Jace's Erasure thing was cool, but, like, there's going to be a lot of times where that ends up helping my opponent to fuel their Gurmag Angler. So I think I'm going to junk those 2 cards as a starting point. At the point where I junk those cards, Mystical Teachings becomes a little less appealing. Like, I'm just boarding in more copies of Weather the Storm and Scattershot. Mystical Tutor is a tutor target for them, but, like, if I'm going to play all of this removal, I need to cut cards from my deck. Like, I have to make those cuts somewhere. Got 4 more cuts to make. I'm going to cut 2 Spare Supplies and 2 Conjurer's Baubles and not think too much about it. I'm sure I've said this plenty of... oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, sure. We can do this. Now, like, I will still need to draw some gas of some kind, but this is a strong start. And if I just end up with the... Like, if I end up with this much mana, like, all of the Spare Supply type cards that I draw just end up being stronger. Yeah, absolutely. Golem Foundry is fantastic. Very happy with that. I will just be junking Expedition Map to probably get another tower. But There are other lands that I technically can grab. Alright, opponent has gone very far down the graveyard hate train. In a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting them to. I'm glad I boarded out my things that interact with that. Okay. Yeah, just tower. Just raw number of cards matters here. I'll jam. With multiple deadly disputes in hand, I don't super care if this eats actual factual counterspell. Like, I will find something to do with these deadly disputes that will be strong. Yep. Like, if opponent is just, like, not pressuring me at all, I feel very favored. Absolutely. Absolutely play a golden egg. Yeah. Draw my card. I'll go ahead and play this as my land drop. I just immediately have up Deadly Dispute. I'm going to play a map. Go ahead and crack that. Absolutely. We'll get yet another tower. And I will pass the turn with Deadly Dispute up for my opponent's end step. Alright, what are you working with over there? Augur of Bolas is totally fine. I think I'm actually going to respond to the trigger, though. I will Deadly Dispute, sacrificing the golden egg, just before my opponent gets another chance to look at a counterspell of some kind. Yep. Alright. Serrated Arrows is not really what I'm looking for. An Echoing Truth, sure. Weather the Storm's kind of cool, though. How does this card work? At the beginning of your upkeep, if there's no arrowhead counters on it, sacrifice it. Sure. I think I'll just play that out. There we go. Okay, it's resolved. Play another tower. I'm good with just playing another tower, calling it a turn. I'll absolutely junk a card from my graveyard. I'm a little protected against something like a Moon Circuit Hacker here just by having these serrated arrows in play. Alright, and we're staring at each other. Could play a Deadly Dispute. I don't know that I need to. Makeshift Munitions. A slightly awkward combination of cards currently. Try to play that out. Alright, 2 mana. Makes it Makeshift Munitions. Okay, it's resolved. I'm going to do this. Do a Deadly Dispute. Sacrificing a treasure token to do so. Okay. Now I get another treasure token. I can go ahead and spare supplies. And now things are starting to look a little better. This is my green. Let's go 3 mana for the Chromatic Star. I'll just Makeshift Munitions at my opponent's face for that. Sacrificing the Chromatic Star. Now found Golden Egg. Go 2 mana for that. I will absolutely exile a card from my graveyard. Absolutely. Alright, and now I will just Weather the Storm for a billion life. Alright. Good stuff. So I think I just gained, what, 18 life there? Something like that. This is a -1/-1 counter. That's fine. Alright, your Preordain is fine. Yeah, I will exile stuff from my graveyard. Absolutely. Don't mind taking one here to just, like, leave these serrated arrows as a nuisance for my opponent. Alright. Wellspring is great. Here we go. 2 mana. Wellspring. Draw a card. Makeshift Munitions. Target you. Pay 1. Sacrifice the Wellspring. Draw a card. I am just trying to hit a Fangren Marauder. Because of Golem Foundry, I guess I should just junk this from play first. Alright, new Wellspring. Second verse, same as the first. Hey, a Foundry Inspector. I do not mind that at all. Although there's a lot of worlds where it just gets, like, killed by a removal spell right here. A Snuff Out. Sure. Makeshift Munitions. Target you. A1. Sacrifice this. Absolutely. Play Power. 3 mana. Make some green, I guess. Make some red, I guess. Make some black, I guess. Like, I have Cave to bail me out, kind of, no matter what I draw. Actually, let's Munitions. Target you. A1. Sack my Wellspring. Go about this in a slow but effective way. Like, I am at above 30 life here. All good there. Alright, at this point, I'm going to sack this bauble and attempt to throw a Foundry Inspector back in my deck. Echoing Truth that out of play. Sure. Alright, there is a Fangren Marauder. Exile a Wellspring. Alright. So now we're going to try to get my opponent to fight over the Makeshift Munitions when it's a card that doesn't actually matter. I'll make red with this. Redeploy Makeshift Munitions. Alright, opponent junks that. So let's play a Cave. Actually, I should play this first, technically. I can immediately sacrifice it. There's 6 mana for the Fangren Marauder. Okay, yeah, I will absolutely exile something from my graveyard. Okay. Do this, try to return the Makeshift Munitions to my deck. Always yes, always yield. There's another Snuff Out. I think I'm just gonna cash this in for 8 life here. That just seems really good to me. Alright. That's all fine. Okay. Opponent is going to junk the graveyards there. I'm at 48. Hello and good luck. Draw a new card. Foundry Inspector. That's fine. I will play it. So I've got 4 lands in play. I have a safety net versus a lot of my opponent's creatures. I'm good with how things stand currently. Because of that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some -1/-1 counters on my opponent's creatures. Fangren Marauder is back. I kind of can't use Cave of Temptations the way that I might want to use it this turn, though. Go ahead and send this in. I can play Fangren Marauder post-combat pretty comfortably in a lot of worlds. All right, let's go 6 mana for the big boy here. Okay, there is an actual factual counter spell. I will bog my opponent. Call it a turn. That's fine. I do need to either become the Monarch or draw something reasonable. Otherwise, my opponent will start to pull ahead, but physically, they will probably have a hard time killing all the creatures in my deck. Or sorry, killing me from this life total. Like, that's just going to be a tough thing to do. The Jace's Erasure sounds pretty reasonable right now. Alright. I'm going to play this and immediately just kind of cycle it. I think I put something reasonable back into my deck earlier. Alright. I do have to remember that I have Scatter Shots, though. Like, Scatter Shot is a reason, for example, to not just play that card immediately. I'll just take this damage. That's totally fine. Ninja of the Deep Hours is annoying. I will Serrated Arrows that with the intention of trying to kill that. If I can wait until I draw a Deadly Dispute or a Fangren Marauder, that would be ideal. Oh, sure. Preordained. Okay, lots of Augurs. Counter spell. That is quite bad for me. Now my opponent has a counter spell that they can just fire off kind of willy-nilly. I am gonna dig a little bit here. Let's wait on that. Wait on that for another turn and try to play that in a turn where I do 2 things. Yeah, that's fine. All right. I will attempt to do this. This goes wrong some. Nope. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Brainstorm away. I'll take 2. I wish I had a big dumb uncounterable fireball. This board state is where I would want these mystical teachings, but I'm okay with what has happened here. A Deadly Dispute. I'm going to use that as my bait spell here. I'm going to do that immediately. Deadly Dispute, sacrificing this. It's better if I play the Fangren Marauder. Ooh, yeah. First in some ways. Alright, let's play some Chromatic Stars. I think a red with this. Another Deadly Dispute. Cool. Chromatic Star. Deadly Dispute that. Go a little deeper here. Foundry Inspector is a very good bait spell. So let's try that. Alright. Opponent might just bite on a removal spell or something here. So I'm going to play the things that don't sacrifice immediately. Alright, there is a cast down. That's all fine. I am trying to get something countered so Fangren Marauder can just resolve. Not succeeding. Make a green. Go Chromatic Sphere. At this point, I might just have to attempt this. Oh, no, I can keep going a little further. Crack that. Pay the black. Get a card. Alright. It looks like this is eating a counterspell. Like, opponent is just, like, not pulling the trigger on anything. At this point, I think I'm just going to Scatter Shot. Right, left Augur of Bolas is the first one. Left Augur. I am so unused to playing storm spells that target things that I can't tell what my things are targeting. Alright, so that's on a Fairy Seer. That's on an Augur. That's on another Augur. That's on another Augur. I guess if I just go and click through in this pattern, that will work out. Just kind of send some here too. I do not like the UI of these things that target. I do not think it is clear. For example. Alright, so I take one more damage than I otherwise should, and my opponent can potentially ninja this turn. That's okay. Like, it matters. But if I get a threat in play, I will probably win in overwhelming fashion. The issue is that I am physically low on cards in library. I did not want to use that floating mana. I think I have, like, another Fangren Marauder that I can win with. There's another Scatter Shot. Yeah. Sacrifice that for some life. Get some green mana. Play Weather the Storm for a very tiny amount. Go up to, like, 53. Play a land. Scatter Shot that creature. I guess you're red. Same targets. Alright. Okay. So I have another Fangren Marauder left, as one more threat. But if opponent just has more counter spells, like, I can't win. Which is what it is. 52 life. That's another Weather the Storm. I draw a card here. But, like, number of turns is something that, like, very much matters. Alright. Green. I will Weather the Storm. I didn't really sideboard out that many threats, right? Or any? Like, did I increase my threat density? What does this look like? I boarded out Teachings, which kind of counts as a threat, and I boarded out Jace's Erasure. Yeah, so I ended up approximately neutral on number of threats. I think Fangren Marauder has to be my next draw, or I cannot win. Like, just in terms of raw clock. Yep. Alright, I don't think I can win anymore. Like, opponent is not reducing my life total to 0. But, like, I just can't win with them chump blocking. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to concede here and not waste the additional minute. Like, with 3 cards left in my library, I can't do it. And I'm just going to go ahead and concede the whole match at this point. Like, I'm not going to physically win that next game in 1 minute, and I'm not going to try. Alright, I believe that is a 1-4 league finish or something like that. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Slow. This is powerful, but I don't know that this is better than other versions of Tron that already exist. There are a lot of cards in this deck list that are kind of in win condition slots that aren't super win conditions. Like, Jace's Erasure is very slow at actually killing an opponent in comparison to something like Fangren Marauder, which is like a 5/5 murder you and gain 20 life. I like the deck building here quite a bit. Like, Golem Foundry is a cool card. I think it operates better as a 1-of than a 4-of. I tried to play it in a 4-of list a couple months back, and it was just kind of slow. Like, the pseudo loop with Frantic Salvage is kind of cool. And, like, that's what makes this playable. But, like, should these just be, like, other singular win conditions? Yeah, probably. I don't necessarily think this deck is bad, but I think if you want to play this and do well with it, you have to play this deck a bunch. because like physically there's just like a lot of clicking going on, and there's a lot of math that like if I wasn't recording and I was trying to learn this deck, I would be doing. But like even not sitting there to do all of the math that I knew existed, I still nearly timed out in multiple rounds. Um, so I don't think I would give this one a thumbs up and say like, yeah, you should try this deck. Like this was a fun deck. I enjoyed playing this. We did some broken things, but I feel like we're jumping through a lot of hoops. Like we brought the game to like, I don't know, turn 30 or something versus Delver and like didn't win the game. Like I know our graveyard was being attacked, and that meant that we couldn't recycle some of our threats. But like if that happened and like your big mana deck doesn't beat the little 1/1 deck, it's not a good sign. So like sideways thumb. I like the design. I don't think the deck's fantastic, but I like it. I don't know that I have any significant deck design suggestions for Eggstron. Like the deck list that's here is very reasonable. I think if you're more experienced than I am with the archetype, you can absolutely do fine with it. But I would probably not pursue learning this deck further. All right. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button. It helps out a lot. If you have any thoughts about deck building or anything like that, please throw those in the comments. Have a great rest. Have a great rest of the day. See ya.